Taiwan's modern history is a history of colonial aggression by foreign regimes. Historically, Taiwan has never been a part of China. There have never been Chinese in Taiwan before, only Aborigines. From 1624 to 1661, the Netherlands occupied Taiwan. In the late Ming dynasty, when there was no hope of fighting against the Qing dynasty, Zheng Chunggong led his troops to occupy Penghu in 1661, and then entered Taiwan Island, defeated the Dutch East India Company regime, and established the first Han regime in Taiwan's history in southern Taiwan. This period of history has been tampered with in the history textbooks of the Communist Party of China, and it has been changed to Zheng Chunggong's recovery of Taiwan. How can there be a saying of recovering Taiwan? The history textbooks of the Communist Party of China never talk about the ownership of Taiwan before this. From 1683 to 1895, the Qing dynasty occupied Taiwan. The Qing dynasty was just a dynasty in Chinese history, just a regime. Can the Qing dynasty represent China? In 1895, the Sino-Japanese War of 1894–1895, the Qing dynasty was defeated, and the Qing dynasty signed the Treaty of Shimonoseki with Japan. In the history textbooks of the Communist Party of China, this history was tampered with. Because the Qing dynasty was defeated, the Qing dynasty signed an unequal treaty with Japan and ceded Taiwan to Japan. At that time, it was clear that the Qing dynasty occupied Taiwan. In 1895, Taiwan was occupied by Japan again. How could Taiwan be ceded? On May 25, 1895, Taiwan broke away from the colonial rule of the Qing dynasty and established the Republic of Taiwan, which lasted only 184 days. In October 1895, the Japanese army fully occupied Taiwan and began the Japanese rule period in Taiwan. On October 25, 1945, Japan ended its rule over Taiwan and Taiwan was taken over by the then national government of the Republic of China. Note that it was the national government of the Republic of China that took over Taiwan, not recovered Taiwan, not returned Taiwan to China, because before Japan occupied Taiwan, the Qing dynasty had only occupied Taiwan as a colonial regime. After October 1949, the Communist Party of China usurped power and the Kuomintang regime moved to Taiwan. In the San Francisco Peace Treaty of 1951 and the Taipei Peace Treaty of 1952, Japan reiterated that it would give up its sovereignty over Taiwan Island, Penghu Islands, Chisha and Nansha Islands but never mentioned the sovereignty of Taiwan. Therefore, if you have a little understanding of Taiwan's history and have a brief outline of the ins and outs of Taiwan's history, you can immediately understand without knowing it in detail. Taiwan has never belonged to China in history, and Taiwan has never been a part of China. Taiwan's Dutch colonial period, the Han regime established by Zheng Chunggong in Taiwan, the Qing dynasty, the Japanese colonial period, the Kuomintang regime and the national government of the Republic of China are nothing more than dynasties in Taiwan's history, all of which are periods of rule by foreign regimes. Many overseas real democracy activists, other Democrats, some current political commentators, etc., have little understanding of Taiwan's concise history and basic national conditions, the most basic content. Many people still don't know what the division of the two sides of the Taiwan Strait is, and what kind of relationship exists between mainland China and Taiwan. Many people do not know that Taiwan did not belong to China in history, or simply think that the division of the two sides of the Taiwan Strait was because the CCP usurped power in 1949, causing the Kuomintang regime to flee to Taiwan. From a geographical perspective, Taiwan Island and its outlying islands and the Penghu Islands are naturally independent. Taiwan Island, Penghu Islands, Shaoliuqiu Island, Green Island, Lanyu and other outlying islands are not affiliated islands of the Eurasian continent. Taiwan Island and its outlying islands are an island in the Pacific Ocean. It can be clearly seen from the topographic map that Taiwan Island is only half connected to the Eurasian continent. Taiwan Island is only on one side of the Taiwan Strait. From the easternmost tip of Taiwan Island and New Taipei City in the north, along the counterclockwise direction, to Kaohsiung in the south, the continental shelf of Taiwan Island is connected to the Eurasian continental shelf, forming the shallow waters of the Taiwan Strait. The Pacific Ocean in the east of Taiwan, the Bashi Channel at the southernmost tip of Taiwan, and the waters of Pingtung County in the southwest of Taiwan are directly continental slopes. On the Pacific coast of Hualien and Taidong, the seabed is even more directly steep, directly the deep seabed plain of the Pacific Ocean. Green Island off the coast of Taidong and Shaoliuqiu Island in the waters west of Pingtung are directly built on the continental slope. Although the Penghu Islands are on the shallow continental shelf of the Taiwan Strait, they are considered to be affiliated islands of Taiwan Island because they are close to Taiwan Island. Taiwan Island is just the Pacific island closest to China. Taiwan Island and its outlying islands are naturally independent relative to China, Asia and the Eurasian continent. From a geographical and historical perspective, Taiwan's natural independence has destined Taiwan Island and the Penghu Islands and their outlying islands to never belong to China. The so-called Taiwan Island, Penghu Islands, Diaoyu Islands and South China Sea Islands have been Chinese territory since ancient times and are an inseparable part of Chinese territory, is a complete lie of the CCP. It is the unilateral power will of the CCP. The so-called One China is the unilateral rhetoric and power will of the CCP. This is also the view and unilateral rhetoric of Taiwan's pro-unification forces and pro-communist forces. At the same time, it is also what the little pinks and old pinks with nationalist sentiments insist on. None of them have any rationality or legitimacy. Most Taiwanese people agree with this independence and are eager to get rid of the historical burden of foreign regimes and build their own country. Since the nationalist government took over in 1945, Taiwan has gradually become localized. In 1991, the period of mobilization to suppress rebellion ended and democratization was achieved, and the people are truly the masters of their own country. The 1997 constitutional amendment virtualized the provincial administrative regions. Li Tengwei proposed in 1999 that the two sides of the Taiwan Strait are special state-to-state relations, and the passport was annotated with Taiwan in 2003, all of which show that Taiwan is an independent entity, not a province of the Republic of China. Most Taiwanese people support the renaming of Republic of China Taiwan, and the renewal of symbols such as the national flag and national anthem to reflect the will of the local people, rather than continuing the framework of the Kuomintang period. In contrast, the CCP is known for its evil regime, which suppresses the people and exploits their rights through violence, lies and high-pressure rule. Since its establishment in 1949, the CCP has claimed in the name of One China that Taiwan has belonged to China since ancient times, which is actually a manifestation of the will of power and has no historical basis. This narrative is not only the rhetoric of the pro-unification and pro-communist forces, but also a blatant disregard for the wishes of the Taiwanese people. The CCP's oppression of the mainland people, such as speech blockades, economic exploitation, and human rights violations, is in stark contrast to Taiwan's freedom and democracy, further strengthening the Taiwanese people's determination to reject unification. Many people mistakenly believe that the division of the two sides of the Taiwan Strait only originated in 1949, or that Taiwan was once part of China, but this is not the case. Taiwan's independence is rooted in history and geography and has long existed. Historical issues left over under the framework of the Republic of China, such as the name of the country, Republic of China, and the constitutional territory including the mainland, have not been resolved due to obstruction by the pro-unification and pro-communist forces, but this does not affect the fact that the Republic of China Taiwan is a sovereign state. Its future should be decided by the people of Taiwan, Penghu, Kinmen and Matsu, and external forces have no right to interfere. Taiwan independence is not separation from China, but liberation from the historical shackles of the Republic of China system, clarifying the country's name as Republic of China Taiwan, formulating a new constitution, updating national symbols, and reaffirming sovereignty to the world. This is not only a rectification of the name, but also a confirmation of Taiwan's natural independence and the will of its people, and a complete escape from the threat of the CCP's evil hegemony.